I want to talk more about your mom, because you told me at some length of how she said it put her on the path, taught her skills. You've alluded to this now. Can you tell me, I take it your mother has passed on, can you tell me some of the things she told you about her experience in residential school? What did she say was good about it? What did she say she learned from it? And importantly, did she condemn it or criticize it as well? I'm just curious for the whole picture of what your mom said happened to her at residential school.
Yeah. She never claimed it was the easiest life. Like I said, it taught her the skills, and she admitted it many times, and that after she was widowed, her sewing skills especially helped her raise the family as a seamstress, and also like the basic running a household chores. And she was a very, very, I guess, pious woman. In fact, in our house, she had a picture of the principal priest who ran the school hanging on our wall. So there was never any hard feelings, but she never tried to tell us it was easy. Yes, there was punishments, there were rules to follow, but it didn't bother her. In fact, one time she told me that when the boy, she always said boys, when the boys ran away, after the third time they had their head shaved, but they deserved it, she said, But she had, very fond memories. And in fact, throughout the years, not only my mother, my aunts and my uncles, and especially some of my cousins who after the school closed had no place to go. And over the years, we had 3 or 4 of my cousins living with us. And there was never any hint of abuse. Yes, there were rules to follow and there were consequences, but the whole idea of these schools set up to abuse the children is ludicrous.
And one of the complaints that critics of these residential schools make is that children were removed from their mom and dad, and that this was done forcibly, and that this destroyed the bonds between parents and kids. And that's a compelling argument. I mean, to take kids away from families. I mean, it's one thing to send your kids off to boarding school. It's another thing to be taken. Did your mom ever talk about that? Did that happen to your mom? Was she forcibly taken?
No, I'm quite sure my grandparents wanted it. In fact, one of my older sisters tells me about the scene when the wagons, actually horse and wagons, would come and pick up these kids, and the younger ones that couldn't go would cry because they wanted to go. So obviously, when they spent the summer with their siblings, there was no tales of terror and abuse and malnutrition. It just wasn't there. Of course, having said that, Ezra, I can only speak for 2 schools that my family went to. That was St. Michael's in Duck Lake, and LeBret, just a little bit north of Regina.
That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show, weekdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Every day I do a monologue, interview a guest, and read my fan mail and my hate mail. To subscribe, go to therebel.media/shows.